So we are now in our, fifth hand, and this is our third button, and we've opened only one out of the two first buttons, and he's 3-betting us, so, we start to build some information here, slowly but surely. Jack 2 that I opened is a hand that's definitely just like foldable once you have certain reads against certain players. It's not like a must open against all players in all situations, but I think it's a must open at the early stages at least, because it's a bit better than the really trashy hands that we don't want to be playing. Although I really wouldn't hate a fold from the get-go either. It's not a big difference really. 9-4 suited is actually a bit stronger, so there's no point in not raising that. And he's just going to take his sweet, sweet time making a decision, the most basic decision ever. I guess he's... Let's see if his internet connection's bad. Nope. Maybe he's doing something else. He's jerking off over there. About to ask him if he doesn't start playing faster. Most people would bet a diamond on this flop, except for maybe a low diamond, so I'm going to go ahead and stab the turn. I think I should be getting a lot of folds, and it's obviously going to be easy to shut down if I face resistance. Even if he called there, I think a 2-barrel would be pretty good, because like I said, any diamond that's like 8 or higher would probably be betting flop, just because you already have such good flop fold equity, plus a draw, so super unlikely for him to have, anything in that spot. Queen Jack, we're definitely defending versus a 3-bet. The chance that this guy's a loose 3-better is kind of going up since he's done it twice now, even though it's still a bit too early to make grand assumptions, but it's a little bit more likely. And Queen Jack would be a defend regardless, actually. I think even against a tight 3-better, unless he's really the tightest over a big sample. So when he checks here, I don't think he's going to have just like pure air. I mean, he's going to bet his airiest hands, which would be like, I don't know, Jack 3 suited or something. Like, there's no reason for him not to bet those kind of things. So probably has like an ace high type hand. Maybe a hand like King Queen, King Jack as well, if you decide that the showdown value is worth checking down or check calling or whatever. So I don't think it's a great spot for a stab on the flop. We also have, some outs that we can hit when we check. So if you do stab flop, I guess you're going to have to, I think you should definitely be planning on 2 and 3 barreling pretty often, based on what his most likely range is there. Let's ask him what he's up to over there. I mean, there's really no reason to take this much time on these decisions, even if you're like 4-tabling. Jack 9's another hand to defend versus 3-bets. Anyone who's 3-betting remotely wide, it's going to be a good defend. It doesn't happen here, but it would be against this guy anyways. Definitely c-betting. Not going to 2-barrel always. It really is going to depend on the turn card. So in terms of planning the hand out from ahead, which is obviously something you should be doing almost always, we're not going to have too rigid of a plan based on different cards. This card's going to be good enough to value bet, most likely. Most undercards to jacks are going to be good. Most overcards are going to be not so great. We're not going to probably be able to get 3 streets from anything here. I mean, like, what hands can he even call 2 streets with? Like, I don't know if he's going to call King 10 if he wouldn't have been check raising that, 10-9. A lot of those draws that missed are going to be folding, and draws that hit, like spades, are going to be screwing us over. So it's even not the best spot for a... let me get the last hand back up there. It's not even the best spot for a 2-barrel, but at the same time, I don't like... well, we have a spade in our hand, actually, so I kind of prefer a check there. I really don't mind a check anymore. I was going to say because people are going to pick up a lot of single spade draws as well, much more often than they're actually going to have a flush already. So I do like to bet against those additional draw type hands. Like you could have ace X with any spade, you could have king X with any spade for the most part. You could have small pocket pairs, and I guess you could have. I mean, there's really not much 2x outside of the range I already mentioned. So